Hello everyone, this is Lamin Sani of LSWAT, and in this video let's see how we can implement changing of a user's password. Okay, but just one caveat. A user can change another user's details like this. So let's head over to the users list, and you can edit any user details for user that you are not currently in. Right now I'm logged in as John Green, that is with the username of Lamin2, but we cannot change the password for another user that we are not. Okay, so right underneath this form we're gonna have to put another form there for changing passwords, because we want to keep the logic separate and simple. So let's head over to our text editor. So inside of edit.php here for the users, right underneath this form here for changing the user details, I've created a snippet which I'm going to paste in here. So it says update user password. So I'll go back here and go to the edit page. Now you can see update user password. Okay, so let's head over back to this other user, which is Lisa Green, and as you can see we're not currently logged in as Lisa, but we can still see the update user password form for Lisa, but that's not a desired behavior. Basically what we want is for this form to be hidden for the current user, the user that we are not logged in as. Okay, and the way we can do that is let's head over to our edit.php and let's do some if checks there. So I'm going to open a PHP tag at the top here for the second form and say if the session $_session and the username is equal to the current user that we are trying to edit. Okay, so if the username for the session that's the logged in user is the same for the user we're trying to edit, then you can show this form, else don't show it. Okay, so let's close this if by saying and if with a semicolon here, colon. Okay, so let's go back to this form here. When I refresh, as you can see the form is hidden for Lisa. Okay, so I'll go back and let's edit for Lamin, and as you can see the form is being shown. Okay, so one more thing that we want to do is we want to give the user a warning. If let's say we created a new user, if you notice their username and their password are the same initially and they have to change it. Okay, so before we do that, let's actually implement that. Okay, so I'm gonna come inside this if statement, do another if there. So we're gonna say if password verify the username is the same as the user password. Okay, then we want to output a message to the user to warn them that they have to change it, because that is not secure. Okay, because we don't want other users to log in with their details. So and if, so what we want to output if the username and password are the same is a paragraph down with a span and a class of label danger. Okay, you are advised to change your password as it's currently set as your username. Okay, so if we come over here and just edit John Green, we're not going to see that message because John Green's password is not the same as his username. Okay, so to check that functionality, let's head over to create user and let's create another user. So let's say this time, let's say Edward. Okay, so the first name will be Edward Woodwork. Okay, so create user. Now let's go to Edward, edit. As you can see now that password field is not being shown for Edward, but let's log out as Lamin and log in as Edward. Edward's username and password are pretty much the same, so we can just say Edward, and password we can say Edward and then log in. So now let's go to the users list. Let's try to edit Edward. As you can see, it says you are advised to change your password as it's currently set as your username. Okay, so let's head over to our text editor and try to implement changing the password now. When we change the password, this message will no longer be shown for this user Edward. Okay, so let's first create a page called process edit password, because the page where we're going to submit the editing of our user details is different from the one for password. Okay, because like I said at the beginning of the video, we want to keep the logic separate. So I'll come over and say new file, process edit password.php, and in there let's open up a PHP tag. Right at the top, let's say require once and $_dir dot / one step back includes, and then / config php. So we've included our config. Let's include the functions file. So let's say functions.php. Next, let's start a session. Okay, and afterwards that, let's retrieve the ID. So ID equals to $_session, and then ID here, because we don't want the user to post in the the ID, because if they did, then they can change it in the form if they know what they're doing. Okay, so next let's say old password equal to $_post. I'll go over where we're getting these in a moment. So new password equal to $_post new password, and finally confirm password equals to $_post confirm password. Okay, so let's just head over to our edit page for a moment and just go over what the snippet that I've just pasted. So the snippet is just basically an H2 here, which just says update user password, and I have like four form input fields. One is just for submit. The other three, the first one is just the old password with name of old password and type of password for 3 of them. And the next one is just new password, which is the new password you're trying to set your password to. And then the third one is just a confirmation, which you have to set the same as your new password so that you not make a mistake whilst typing it. Okay, so that's pretty much it.